Sir Rahvin. In this video we're going to be looking at the carried thrust, or what most people would call the two-handed thrust. And I think this is one of the more underrated techniques in spearing. Usually when we use this technique we're just trying to hit an armored opponent, but this technique really does have a lot of potential. So let's go over the basics. When you're using the two-handed thrust, most people will get extra range out of this thrust by taking a lunging step with their lead leg. One important thing to remember is we always want to step to our target when doing this. So if I'm going at someone right ahead of me, keep this opponent straight. But if I'm aiming at someone off to the side, I'll step to the target. The reason for this is this way we don't get all crossed up with our spear. It's going to make withdrawing more difficult, and it's going to hurt our range. The other way to do this, to get more range, is with a passing step. So we're going to take this back leg and we're going to pass it forwards. And step like so, and make our thrust. Now, this one is different. When we're stepping with this back leg, we don't want to step to our target. The reason for this is, if I turn this inwards, it's going to take my hips, and it's going to slightly turn them clockwise for me. That's going to work against my shoulders, which are trying to turn counterclockwise, and it's going to put strain on my back. So, when we step, we want to step out about a 45-degree angle, and then that's going to get our hips and our shoulders working together much more nicely. The other nice thing about stepping out at the 45-degree angle is if we take another follow-up step with what is supposed to be our lead leg, all of a sudden this ends us in our spearing stance, rather than something else that we're going to have to adjust out of. Now, the really nice thing about the carried thrust, unlike our flung thrust and our one-handed thrusts, is that we can change targets mid-strike, which is going to open up a whole world of feints and secondary targets to us. So let's look at those real quick. I can feint at the person right in front of me, and then mid-strike, change my target off to the side. The really nice thing about this is people tend to watch spears for when they thrust, and then when they see where it's thrusting to, they think they're safe, and they stop paying attention. So if I begin a thrust at something in front of me, the guy over here is going to think that he's safe, and they almost never see themselves become the secondary target. We can also switch targets vertically, so I could begin a thrust high and end it low. That also works really well. So, I really recommend that you try out the carried thrust some more. It's a really useful technique,